everybody. Dave Brown, glad to be back here at ringside with CWA Championship Wrestling. Boy, we got a good one coming up for you today. Last week, I understand Ronnie P. Gossett was not around. I hope the same thing will hold true today. If so, it'll be a much more pleasant day for us, I think. We got quite an array of matches for you. The beginning match, the opening match of the day, is a good one in which Buddy Landell is going to be in here to be going against the King. That's just the opener today. A bit later on, we'll be looking at the Blackbirds as a tag team. Dutch Mantell and Freddie will be teaming up to go against them. Rock and Roll Express, Rick Morton, Robert Gibson will be in a little bit later on. Then you'll see the Dirty White Boy in a single match. And listen to the expiration of time match of the day. Mark Starr, Chris Champion, the Wild Side, will be going against the Superstar, Bill Dundee and Dustin Rhodes. Got a lot of action coming up. You stay with us. Back with the King against Landell in a moment. CWA champion, these two guys, the Wild Side, Chris Champion, Mark Starr, are going to be involved in it. We'll let them talk about their matches coming up. You guys haven't heard from your manager by any chance, have you?
Dave, you'd like us to come out here and say, yeah, we haven't heard from Ronnie. We don't know where he is. But that's not the case. We know exactly where Ronnie is. We know what he's been doing. And as a matter of fact, he's got a little surprise for everybody. And you know how Ronnie Gossett is. And
I know how Ronnie Gossett is, no doubt about that.
You know, maybe we ought to just bring Ronnie out right now, you know?
Come on.
That'd be nice, wouldn't it? You'd like to see Ronnie now? Huh?
I'd like not to. Oh, come on. Yes.
Welcome back.
Hey, wait. What is all of this? Is this your version of medals or what? What is it? All of this here.
That's the most intelligent thing you've ever said, Dave Brown. These are Ronnie's medals that I gave myself. Number one, this medal with your ignorant face on it is for putting up with you for a year. Get that camera in here. Zoom in on these medals. This right here is for Buckwheat Harris when I was his tag team partner and made the mistake of teaming with him. And this Cleveland Brown medal reminds me of Jerry Lawler because they're a big a loser as Lawler is. The Ghostbusters are for my fabulous Wild Side. And this little munchkin over here is for Bill Dundee, the only midget that's allowed in professional wrestling.
Well, okay, that's ridiculous is what I got to tell you.
Your opinion means nothing to me, Dave Brown.
Listen,
let me tell you something before you interrupt me again. This means that Ronnie Gossett is declaring war. War, W-A-R. No more of making Ronnie Gossett the village idiot. No more powdering and diapering Ronnie Gossett. No more strap matches. I want all you goofs in the back to listen and listen good. And that includes you, Eddie Marlin. Ronnie Gossett is demanding loyalty and respect, even from my ranks here, the Wild Side. Do you understand me?
Yes, sir.
I can't hear you.
Yes, sir.
From now on, we're going to be more vicious than ever. From now on, we will have no mercy on any opponents. And Jerry Lawler, this crown is especially for you because every time I look at it, it's going to remind me of how I hate your guts. And believe me, I despise you.
Listen, your guys have got matches coming up in this one-night CWA tournament to crown a champion here. Do you realize these guys could end up going against each other?
That's all you're good for, is causing dissension among my ranks. They won't be going against anybody. I don't know why you're even having a tournament, because in my opinion, they can beat anybody in it. So why save all that trouble? Give the belt to one of them today. We don't even need a tournament.
No, we're not going to do that. The tournament will occur, and these guys, if they end up wrestling each other, that's just the way it'll be. It's a one-night tournament to determine the new CWA champion.
Well, I guarantee you, ignorance, it'll be the Wild Side. You can take that to the bank.
We'll just wait and see about that. We've got a match coming up here. If you gentlemen have said your say, then we'll get on with...
We'll leave when we're ready to go.
You don't have to ask us to leave. When we get through talking, we'll tell you. You just be an ornament and stand there. It's the biggest problem in professional wrestling. And don't think by a long shot that I'm finished with Jerry Lawler. Well...
Lawler will have a lot to say about that, too. The King in here right now, ready for his match. Ronnie P. Gossett, what is that with? He's got General Stars on his helmet, but Sergeant Stripes on his jacket there. The King steps up into the ring right now, ready for a one-fall, 10-minute time limit match. His opponent coming in, the Nature Boy, Buddy Landell. One-fall, 10-minute time limit. Jerry Calhoun, the referee here today. And Landell says he gets a chance to beat him on TV. Well, a lot of people have tried, Buddy Landell. Landell, the tough veteran, rugged wrestler. This should be a good match. Couple of big guys here. Referee Jerry Calhoun with the brief instructions, and here we go. There's the King right there. Landell. Jerry Calhoun steps in between them and warns Landell about a doubled-up fist. They tie it up. Backed into the corner is Jerry Lawler. Landell backs away clean. It's a non-title match, buddy, is all I can tell you. 1, 2. Lawler hooked him, had him down for the 2 count. But Landell able to break out of it at the count of 2. Landell pleading his case, yelling and screaming.
Just wrestle all 3 of you.
Guys, only just worry about the King. You don't have to worry about us. You're talking to us. We're not talking to you. We're over here to call the match. Landell wanting to know why the belt is not on the line. Well, it's a non-title match. Never has been signed as a non-title match. That should not come as a surprise to Buddy Landell. It should also not come as a surprise that if he can beat the King here on TV today, that would certainly go a long way in putting him high on the list to get a shot at the unified world title that the King holds. But Landell, crowd getting on him a little bit, and he's a little thin-skinned about the whole thing as he climbs out of the ring to complain to the crowd. Why do I suspect that's just going to make it worse, huh? Buddy Landell paying attention to about everything except Lawler. You know, sometimes this is a tactic that a wrestler will use, trying to lull his opponent into thinking that he is paying more attention to other things and then try to sneak up on somebody. I don't think Lawler will be swayed by that at all. Middle of the ring again. They tie it up. Once again, Landell backs Lawler to the corner. This time he doesn't break it clean. He nails him with a right fist. 2 minutes gone in the action here. 10 minutes the overall time limit of the match. Jerry Lawler against Buddy Landell. It is a non-title match, but an important match nonetheless. They're all important when you're the world champions. Landell again using a right fist. He's done it twice. Lawler goes after him again. This time he backs Landell into a corner. And this time he nails him with a right fist as the referee calls for a break. Jerry Lawler fighting fire with fire. Come to think of it, he can do that too. But he used the fist after Landell had nailed him twice, and now Buddy is complaining to the referee as though one of the great injustices in the history of the world had just happened to him. Landell back into a corner again by Lawler. Referee's there, calls for a break. Lawler this time beals him out of the corner. Across the ring. Landell, he went to the tights and nailed Lawler. Yeah, sure, using the forearm, he says. I don't think so. But Landell, nonetheless, with the upper hand at the moment as Lawler is on the mat. He picks Lawler up and drops him with a suplex. Buddy Landell now very confident with a cover. Count of 2, but the King kicks out at the 2 count. Landell thought he had him pinned. A little overconfidence there by Buddy Landell. A lot of overconfidence maybe would be a better term. 4 minutes gone in this one. Lawler has just nailed it with the right hand. Landell went to the tights again, and again he nails Lawler. This time he got him right in the stomach. Lawler back on his feet. Landell is there to grab him. Back into the corner. Landell just openly using the fist. The referee warning him about it. Now steps in there. Uh-oh. Strap comes down. Look out, Landell. Jerry Lawler comes into the corner. Oh, Calhoun gets nailed by Buddy Landell as Lawler ducked out of the way. Landell out of the ring, down on the floor. Oh, it's a disqualification. Jerry Calhoun has just disqualified Buddy Landell. And the King gets his hand raised on a DQ. 5 minutes, 15 seconds of action, and Jerry Lawler has just gotten himself a victory here over Buddy Landell, who came in with that superior attitude, yelling at the crowd, using the fist, using some kind of foreign object. Finally, he nails the referee, and he is disqualified. He comes back into the ring, and Lawler comes after him. Landell now decides time to leave. There he goes. After losing by disqualification, the King with his hand raised, 5 minutes, 15 seconds of action, and Lawler has himself another victory, again in a non-title match. Fans go after Jerry over there. I think you can tell who they were for all through in the entire match here. Hey, I want to call out a couple of guys right here. Here they come. Eddie Marlin and Dutch Mantell. Eddie holding the CWA heavyweight belt. Eddie, good to see you again. Notice you got the belt in hand with the tournament coming up here.
I just want to get Dutch out here to assure him that last week wasn't a pick on Dutch Mantell day. Rules are rules, and we have to abide by them. And, you know, I stated when we was out here last week we would sign a tournament. Tournament has been signed, and you are in it.
Well, Eddie, I don't have any hard feelings towards you, really, because I know rules are rules, and you got to follow them, and you got to do all this kind of stuff. But see, I, from deep in my heart, Texas Dirt gave me the belt, and I figured it was mine. But if we're going to have a tournament, that means I'm going to have to go through 12 guys when I've wrestled 3 or 4 times. But I've had odds like that before, and I can climb the mountain, and that just means this is going to be a little more nicer and sweeter if I can possibly take it back again. It's a long uphill climb. There's a lot of tough guys in this tournament, but one thing that bothers me, and I like it, I really do, the winner of the tournament gets a chance to meet Jerry Lawler for the Unified World's title. Am I correct? Correct me if I'm wrong.
Same night.
Same night.
That's what. Are you talking? I thought I was talking, Dave, right? I guess you thought I was finished or something.
No discussion here.
Oh, but you get to meet Jerry Lawler the same night.
Right.
Well, now that means you're going to have to wrestle, if I'm right, if my little calculator's right in the back, 1, 2, 4 times, and then you got to meet Jerry Lawler for the world's title. To me, it seems like after you wrestle 4 guys, it seems like you should be a little tired. I don't know.
Wait just a second. Don't you think the belt that Jerry Lawler's got is worth wrestling 4 times to get a shot? When you had this title, you wasn't.
I didn't have that title. You took it away from me, remember?
Well,
it's only been a
when
week.
Texas Dirt had it, he wasn't in line for a title shot. But if you win this belt that night, you also get a shot at the world title.
Okay. It is worth a shot at the world's unified title because a lot of guys want it.
There you go. We agree on it.
Okay, thank you very much. And I'm going to be in that tournament, and I'm going to try my dead level best to take it back, and I want you to present it to me.
I hope I can.
All right. Dutch Mantell and Eddie Marlin. That one-night tournament coming up. We'll tell you more about it later on. We'll be back with more right here in just a moment.
Michael St. John for CWA Championship Wrestling. Cannelton, Indiana, tomorrow afternoon. Action your way at 3 o'clock. On the card, the Rock and Roll Express, Freddie, Dutch Mantell, and many more at the Candleton Gym. Tomorrow afternoon, Cannelton, Indiana, at 3 o'clock. Action Hopkinsville, Kentucky, this coming Thursday night. Western Kentucky Fairgrounds. Henryville, Indiana, coming on Thursday, October 26th. Owensboro, Kentucky, action at the Sports Center this coming Wednesday night. Kevin Dillinger takes on the Soul Taker. Jeff Jarrett against Mike Davis. The Nature Boy Buddy Landell takes on Freddie. Dutch Mantell against the Dirty sturdy white boy. The Blackbirds with Harold Harris will take on superstar Bill Dundee and Dustin the Natural Rhodes. CWA Tag Team title in Owensboro Wednesday night. The Rock and Roll Express, Rick Morton, Robert Gibson, title on the line against the Wildside Chris Champion and Mark Starr and General Ronnie P. Gossett in their corner. Then for the first time ever in the history of wrestling, the World Unified Heavyweight Championship on the line. Jerry the King Lawler will take on an opponent. The fans decide. You'll decide by your voice vote at the arena Wednesday night. It'll either be superstar Bill Dundee, Rick Morton, Robert Gibson, Dustin Rhodes, or Dutch Mantell. Bill, I know you'd like the shot at that title.
Michael St. John, it won't be either of the others because we all know who he's going to do it. Dustin Rhodes and I's taking out the Blackbirds early on, and Jerry the King Lawler. We all know who the fans are going to pick because when it comes to fighting, there ain't nobody does it better than you and me. And, brother, I'm going to tell you this up front because you're making me hot, Jack. You're getting every way to hang on to that belt because you're losing it, Lawler. Last week it was at the end of a tournament. This week they're going to have to wrestle twice, and you wrestle once. Yeah, Lawler, I don't particularly care for you, brother. I'm just going to tell you, when they pick Bill Dundee's name, I'm taking that belt off you, and I don't care how many times I go to wrestle. I hope they pick me because I want that belt, Lawler.
Dutch Mantell, you might have a shot at that belt.
Well, I may have a shot if the fans want me to have a shot at it, but I'm going to say one thing. Jerry Lawler, he's going to let the fans pick who he wrestles. And I think, you know, that's a good quality in Jerry Lawler, but, you know, everybody's already wrestled one match, and Lawler gets in there. Lawler, be on your toes Wednesday night.
All right, we're about ready to go with a tag team match now. It'll again be one fall, 10-minute time limit. Got the Blackbirds coming in here, the Iceman Parsons, and
Move them out!
I hear the sounds of rawhide. That means Dutch Mantell coming in. There he is with his partner for the day, Freddie. They will be going against the Blackbirds in this match. The Dutchman climbs into the ring. Freddie, says the crowd. There he is. Falls on that right hand. That got all day, says Dutch. Get him out here. Couldn't agree with you more, Dutchman. Here they come. Finally, Harold Harris leading the way. Their manager, Brickhouse Brown right behind, and Parsons following. As the Blackbirds come into the ring area now, they step up under the apron, at least Brickhouse does. And the shades back to Harold Harris. Remember, it's one fall, 10-minute time limit. It will be starting for the team of the Blackbirds. Dutch Mantell will start for his team, and looks like Brickhouse, well, no, both of them step through the ropes. Now Iceman Parsons back outside. Brickhouse Brown is the one that starts against Dutch Mantell. Little misdirection on the part of the Blackbirds to get things started. Hey, what the Blackbirds had some words to say about this tournament that's coming up. Let's listen to what they said about it.
You know, I took a bit of a holiday for a couple of weeks, and all kinds of fun things happened when I got back. I hear that there's going to be a tournament for the CWA heavyweight title. And you know what? We are the first black team. And this was the first black heavyweight champion. And guess what? I got a feeling that he's going to be the second black heavyweight champion one more time. And this man will take up his slack if he doesn't make it. And you know what that means? That means all you mud ducks, all you gutter sluts, don't come up to us with all this chameleon jewelry. We are high budget. We don't want to fool with any low budgets. Tell them about it, Brick.
Let me tell you something right now, just in case you people ain't briefed on what's happening. I am a two-time CWA heavyweight champion. Now, going through this tournament means one thing to me, and that's money. And Iceman, brother, I know one thing about it. Both of us can get the job done at any given time. You better tell them something, man.
See, Lalo, since day one, you understand, of professional wrestling, they never had a black world champion. But I put the icing on the cake. See, they call you the king, you understand, by the wrestling world. But when I was born, my mama held me up in the air and say, this boy is gonna be a leader. Right. So I shall maybe king. By birth, you understand. Right. Not a nickname. Like I told you, the birds are often imitated, but never duplicated. You understand? I can't wait until the tournament starts, because everybody know what's the word? Blackbird. Lola, shine their belt up. If you can't do it, let your girlfriends do it. Lola. I don't know what you've been taking, but I like that. I like that. Because now you made the biggest mistake of your life, you Rudy Poop.
Crowd counting with Dutch Mantell on the Blackbirds. Iceman rolls into the ring. That stopped the count right there. He just barely made it in. The crowd was up to about 9. The referee had run out of the ring, too, there, as Freddie was kind of running wild. The Blackbirds. Now, tag has been made by Brickhouse Brown and Iceman Parsons. Little hesitant about coming in there to do battle with Freddie. Freddie steps out. Dutch Mantell is in now. So it's Dutch Mantell, Iceman Parsons. Parsons grabs Mantell, pulls him back in the corner. Brickhouse Brown holding him up from outside while Iceman works on him with knee lifts primarily. Errol Harris had the referee distracted down the apron. Look at Parsons. He was pulling tights, no doubt about it. But he snapped Dutch Mantell down to the mat. Mantell back on his feet. Parsons to the corner. The tag on Brickhouse. They double up. Dutch Mantell gets the double boot to the midsection coming off of there. He's over to the corner, though, makes the tag. Here is Freddie. Freddie using that right forearm and an open hand. Dutch Mantell working on Brickhouse Brown. Look out, Errol Harris off the top rope. He was caught at it by the referee, though. And the referee saw Harris as he sailed through the air to land on Dutch Mantell with a cane. They are disqualified. Dutch Mantell and Freddie are going to be the winners of this one. So the manager interferes, and it cost his team perhaps the match. They certainly lose it right there on disqualification. 3 minutes, 57 seconds. Dutch Mantell and Freddie get their hands raised. We'll take time out and be back with more.
Wrestling fans, want to remind you that action returns to Evansville, Indiana next Wednesday night. Candleton, Indiana, tomorrow afternoon, 3 o'clock, big card of action. Candleton Gym, Rock and Roll Express, Freddie, Dutch Mantell, many more there. Hopkinsville on Thursday night at the Western Kentucky Fairgrounds. Henryville, Indiana will have more information on action coming your way on October 26th. Here in Owensboro, Kentucky, this Wednesday night, listen to this. Kevin Dillinger takes on the Soul Taker. Jeff Jarrett against Mike Davis. Buddy Landell takes on Freddie. Dutch Mantell against the Dirty White Boy. The Blackbirds with Errol Harris against Bill Superstar Dundee and Dustin Rhodes. CWA Tag Team title match, the Rock and Roll Express against the Wild Side with Ronnie P. Gossett. Then in the main event, for the first time ever in wrestling history, the World Unified title on the line, held by Jerry the King Lawler. You, the fans, will decide between Bill Dundee, Rick Morton, Robert Gibson, Dustin Rhodes, or Dutch Mantell, who will be Jerry Lawler's opponent in Owensboro, this coming Wednesday night for that main event. We'll see you in Owensboro Wednesday night.
Right now, Mike Davis and Chris Frazier, they are going to be going against, I hear the music. The Rock and Roll Express headed this way. Rick Morton, Robert Gibson, they wear the CWA tag titles around their waist. This is a non-title match here today, but should be a good one, as Rock and Roll RPM Mike Davis will have as his partner Chris Frazier to go against the Express. Rock and Roll, as Rick Morton, Robert Gibson hand the belts out of the ring. We're about set to get underway with some tag team excitement today. Referee says, let's go. Rock and roll. Rick Morton starting against Mike Davis. Davis using a right fist and a forearm. Then Brick across the way into the turnbuckle. Brick bounced out of there. Whoa, they double up a little bit. Nice move by Robert Gibson coming down the apron to slow down Mike Davis just a little bit. Davis over to the corner, makes a tag on Chris Frazier. down behind the Rock and Roll Express solidly as Chris Frazier steps in. Tag made. Rick sends Chris Frazier into the ropes, and they dump him over the back as he comes off of there. Rick steps out. Robert Gibson stays in. A big high boot. Frazier hits the mat. There's a cover. Count is 1, 2. Thought he had a 3 count, but not quite. Frazier had a shoulder up, apparently, and Robert helped him on up to his feet. Over to the corner, the tag on Rick Morton. Davis not too happy, apparently, with the performance of Chris Frazier so far, as he feels like maybe he is not contributing to the team. Well, he's upset. Where did they get this partner for me? Well, I don't know, Mike. Oh, my goodness, Chris just ran into the Rock and Roll Express. That's what happened. Chris, oh. Rick Morton rolls him down to the mat. Count of 1, 2, and this one's over. 3 count. Rock and Roll Express looking good, first against Mike Davis and then against Chris Frazier to get the victory here. Oh, Davis now picking up Frazier. What is this?
I give you a chance, and what do you do? Huh? What do you do? Stop!
Davis turning on his partner, Chris Frazier. Chris, as if he hadn't had enough trouble with the Rock and Roll Express in there. Now Mike Davis, his own partner, grabs him after Chris was pinned in there. Davis was steamed over in the corner during the match, complaining about the partner that he had here. Oh, come on, Mike. Now, take it out of here with that. Poor Chris Frazier, really beaten up now by his partner. 2 minutes, 16 seconds the time. We'll take a break here, and we'll return. Participants in the one-night tournament that's coming up, of course, is going to be the King himself. Not that he's in the CWA tournament, but whoever wins that tournament gets the immediate shot at the World Unified title, which the King has held so spectacularly. And it's going to be an interesting night for you there.
Well, it is going to be an interesting night. It's kind of nice, though, to get to sit back and watch all of these other guys scrapping and clawing and fighting and biting and scratching to try to get to where you already are. See, now that's one good part of the situation. But the bad part of it is that you know when you got athletes the caliber of all these guys that we got in this match or in this tournament, that the guy that wins that, the guy that comes out on top of all of those guys is going to be, without a doubt, a worthy contender for the World Championship. So I'm going to just, as I said, I'm going to sit back. And what's going to make this real interesting is, you know, there's a situation that may occur here where, heck, I might have to wrestle against Jeff Jarrett, Bill Dundee, or Dutch Mantell,
That's right.
or Ricky Morton, or Robert Gibson, any of those guys. And what I want to try to explain to some of the fans and some of the fans out there watching is that it really started for me back on May the 9th, 1988, when I first won the AWA World Championship, and I started taking this belt all over, not just all over the southern half of the country, but all over the United States and all over the world. Went to Japan, went to Canada, all over different countries defending this title. And what you find out happens is when you go into these different areas, you're always facing their top contender in each one of these areas. And the thing that really brought it out the most to me was when I went down to Texas and I wrestled against, first guy I wrestled against was Kerry Von Erich. Now, I was used to coming out and the fans being on my side and being behind me, and quite honestly, you know, I feel like that fan support helps. But I mean, when I walked out in Dallas, Texas, immediately, since I was wrestling their local hero, those people didn't even give me a chance to show them what a nice guy I was. I mean, brother, they were down on me, they were spitting on me, they were throwing cups, they were doing everything. As a matter of fact, what I brought along here today, they took their cameras, this is just last week now, they took their cameras down to Dallas, Texas, and they went at ringside, and they interviewed some of the fans that came to the matches there in Dallas, and I brought along some little clips to show you what they think of the King in Texas. And this is what happens when you have the World Heavyweight Championship and you go into these different areas and you wrestle the other people's favorite. So take a look at this, and I'll show you what some of these people think of the King and of Tennessee, as a matter of fact, in this entire area. So watch this.
Jerry Lawler is the creepiest, slimiest little rat I have ever seen in my life. My dirty socks look better than his face.
Yeah, he doesn't have no right putting Texas down. We're better than Tennessee any day.
Can't say on TV what I think of Lawler in Tennessee.
Say, Jerry Lawler, you want to fight, man? Come fight with me. Say, I'm bigger and badder than I look. So you want some? Come with me, buddy.
Oh, God, I hate talking about him. But anyway, you talk about our state. I've been to your state, and I think it's, well, I won't say.
Mr. Lawler, you want to talk bad about the women in Texas? I wouldn't date one in Tennessee on my worst night, and I've been there.
Jerry the King Lawler, you're not as bad as everyone says. I think you're right about even with diarrhea.
What I think, well, Jerry Lawler, for one, he don't wrestle clean like, you know, other wrestlers, you know what I'm saying? And besides that, Jerry Waller's got a big mouth. I can't stand an individual with a big mouth, especially Jerry Waller.
What about that? Jerry Waller. I mean, now this is typical of some of the people down in Dallas, Texas. So you see how situations like that occur. But it may be a similar situation when I have to go against, if they come out on top in that tournament, a guy like Jeff Jarrett or Bill Dundee or any of those guys.
Sure, rock and roll, any of them, yeah.
Yeah, well, that's just the way things go. When you got the title, you have to put friendship on the back burner. You have to take them as they come. And speaking of as they come,
here they come, right here. Bill Dundee, Dustin Rhodes, and Rick Morton and Robert Gibson, the Rock and Roll Express coming out here.
Hi, Dave.
Hello, Bill.
Kingfish.
Dustin.
You have got to be the smartest dude in the world. I got to take my hat off to you. You go off to Texas. I've been to Texas. You're right. You can whoop everybody down there. So could I. You can so could anybody right there. Now, you've had that belt how long? About a year or so?
A little over a year.
Had I have asked you for a title match, I said, well, wrestle me, please, just for this big old belt. I'll whoop you for everything else that you had, and you've never done it. You went off to Canada. You're right. You went to Japan. You went all over the place except your own backyard, brother. And then you got this bright idea, and you went to Eddie Marlin, because you said, I know Bill Dundee's going to win the tournament. He's going to whoop everybody in here, but that'll be 4 times the little runt wrestled. Then he's going to have to come out and wrestle me for this belt. And I know the boy's got to be tired. You are the smartest dude in the world, Lawler.
So in other words, you think I went to Eddie Marlin and asked for that title match that night? Please, Bill, give me a break. Give me a break.
Yeah, I've always told the people, boy, you are the smartest guy.
So in other words, all cut and dried. You're going to win the tournament, huh?
Well, hey, man.
What about... Well, Bill, you know, you got to go through this big line right there. You know, to me, it looks like everybody's going for a popularity contest. But first of all, you got to win matches to get to the title shot, Bill. I think I can walk over to you to get to a better fight,
well,
baby.
Let me tell you something, brother. All I got to say about this is, brother, the only contenders around here is Jerry the King Lawler and Bill Superstar Dundee, because we whooped everybody in here, and I whooped him more times than anybody else. And I got to whoop him for that belt, brother.
I don't think you whooped us.
Never.
Let me tell you guys something. Hey, now I know that all of you right here have probably at one time or another had that belt. See, I haven't. I got a lot of things to prove to these people out here.
And we don't want it, big boy.
Yes, I am from Texas.
There's your problem.
There's your problem right there. That is another thing.
There's your problem. You're going to try to prove he just said, right? He's going to try to prove something to the people. Brother, on this particular night, you better just try to prove to yourself that you can beat guys like this right here. And if you do beat them, then you better try to prove to me that you can beat me.
Can put down the Texans all you want to. You're not from Texas. I am. You're from the Slopwood State of Tennessee.
Problem, man.
Now listen to me now.
The world need an enema with that stick.
If I do happen to win that CWA title, and I step in the ring with you, you are going to feel what this elbow is all about. And that's all I got to say to you.
Well, hey, all I got to say to everybody out there and all you nice folks right here, brother, is you're all American by birth, and think of this, I'm American by choice, because I had to go get a little piece of green card to say I could live here. So I want to be American, you guys got to be American, and I'm going to be the world's champion come this week, Kingfish.
Hey, you know, another thing says, welcome to America. Yeah, goodbye.
Well, I think that's a good illustration of just what you were talking about, but friendship kind of goes by the wayside when that belt's on the line.
Well, as I've said before, Dave, and it goes double for this week, the old King ain't going to be out there trying to win any popularity contests. I'm going to be out there to do one thing. That's hang on to this World Heavyweight Championship and kick a lot of butt in the process, and that's what I'm going to do.
Okay, the one-night tournament coming up for that CWA title and the immediate shot at the King and the World Unified Belt. That is what is coming up. Tell you what, we've got a match here. No belt on the line in this one, but should be a pretty good one anyway, as we got Dirty White Boy coming in. Single match. Well, here's Tim Hall coming in right now. Boy, I tell you, I don't envy Tim having to go against this big guy right here out of Bucksnort, Tennessee. Right back, says the Dirty White Boy, and I'm going to come up here and show you how I can wrestle. Well, that's the way to do it, in the ring, not out here talking to us. Jerry Calhoun, the referee. And here we go. Tim Hall, nice move. Tim, a young wrestler. Boy, he has given away just tons and tons of experience to the Dirty White Boy. White Boy, oh, look at that knee lift. Boy, that thing right there, a move like that can turn a match almost immediately. And, oh, boy, you put the neck breaker on it. And Tim Hall is in immediate trouble here. Dirty White Boy sits down on him. We're only 30 seconds into the action. Dirty White Boy had some comments about the tournament that's coming up. Let's listen to that.
You know, I understand that they're having a big tournament for the CWA Heavyweight Championship, and the winner of that tournament not only is crowned the CWA Heavyweight Champion, but gets a shot at the world's heavyweight champion, Jerry the King Lawler. Well, let me tell everybody, I'm sick and tired of being put in the back. Everybody looking over the Dirty White Boy. Well, let me tell you something, gentlemen. You listen up and you listen real good. I've got a lot of surprises in store when I show up for this tournament, you see, because there's nothing would suit me finer than winning this tournament and then going on and beating Jerry the King Lawler for that world's title. And Buddy Landell, Blackbirds, Wild Side, the Rock and Roll Express, none of them. Friendships don't let the ring, baby. It's time to get down and get nasty, and it's time to rumble. So be ready. Gentlemen, I'm coming for you. I'm coming to win. I'm coming to take it all.
Well, I suppose every wrestler, whether you like him or not, has dreams of being the world champion. But few of them make it. Lawler has. He'll have that belt on the line in that one-night tournament to immediately go against the newly crowned CWA champion. Dirty White Boy totally in control here. Count of one. Well, he picks him up at the 2 count. Won't go for the count of 3. That's 2 or 3 times he's done that in the match so far. He seized control immediately. Tim Hall came out with a couple of good moves. A young fellow who has really came out to battle, but slowed down by first a knee lift and then a neck breaker immediately after that. Dirty White Boy seized control of the match and has not relinquished control since. Tim Hall nailed by the knee. Dirty White Boy yelling about it's going to be me and you, Lawler, for that world title. Now Dirty White Boy just insulting Tim. Throws him through the ropes, down onto the floor. Now he picks him up, back into the ring. But again, he's not going for a pin. He picks him up, whips him across the ropes, across the ring into the ropes. Power slam coming off of there. Now Dirty White Boy up on the middle rope. Tim Hall trying to get back up on his feet. Dirty White Boy right there behind him just waiting, and now takes him back down to the mat. This time he covers. Will he make it stick? Count of 1, 2. Yeah, he does. 3 count. Dirty White Boy with an easy win here today. 3 minutes, 46 seconds as he defeats young Tim Hall. We'll be back to tell you about a lot more things in just a moment.
Wrestling fans, remember, action coming back to Evansville next Wednesday night. Candleton, Indiana, tomorrow afternoon, 3 o'clock, Candleton Gym. Hopkinsville Thursday night, Western Kentucky Fairgrounds. Listen to the action in Owensboro Wednesday night. Kevin Dillinger against the Soul Taker. Jeff Jarrett against Mike Davis. Buddy Landell takes on Freddie. Dutch Mantell against the Dirty White Boy. The Blackbirds with Harold Harris against superstar Bill Dundee and Dustin Rhodes. CWA tag titles on the line. Rock and Roll Express put the belts up against the Wild Side with Ronnie P. Gossett. And for the first time ever, you, the fans, will choose Jerry the King Lawler's opponent for the World Unified Heavyweight Championship belt. Will it be Bill Dundee, Rick Morton, Robert Gibson, Dustin Rhodes, or Dutch Mantell? You, the fans, will decide Wednesday night in Owensboro. Here's Ronnie P. Gossett.
Rock and Roll Express, you're going down like the Titanic in Owensboro, Kentucky. I'll be in Candleton, Indiana tomorrow, and I hope Freddie shows up because you've been nothing but a pain in my side. Freddie, I'll take care of you myself tomorrow afternoon, 3 o'clock.
Jerry the King Lawler has some special comments about the big match Wednesday night in Owensboro.
You know, I just want to say that this week in Owensboro is a little bit of an unusual situation. First time since I had this World Heavyweight Championship that the fans are actually going to get to pick my opponent. So I'm kind of, well, I'm looking forward to it in a way. But by the same token...
Jerry, let me tell you something. You know, I'm not coming to Owensboro to try to win any popularity contest with the fans to pick me to wrestle Jerry Lawler. But you know, Jerry, on down the road, I've wrestled many world champions. And I got to say, I've wrestled you too. And you're the toughest opponent I ever wrestled, Jerry, has been the world's champion. That's right. I beat Ric Flair. I beat Dick Bockwinkel, which they weren't title matches, but I wish they were. But the one thing in my life, my goal is to be a world heavyweight champion. So, Jerry, if you have to wrestle me in Owensboro, I'm coming after you with everything I got. I know at one time before my head wasn't screwed on right, but now it is. You know, if I step in the ring with you, I hope I get to in Owensboro. It's the fans' choice to pick. But y'all know you will.
I think it sounds like you're begging them to pick you now. Wait just a minute. There's going to be some other guy. That's going to be this Wednesday night. I want you to know that whatever it takes, I'm hanging on to this belt right now.
Well, that's right, Jerry.
Bill Dundee and Dustin Rhodes will be coming in here in just a moment to go against the Wild Side in tag team action. Right now coming in, the Nature Boy himself, Buddy Landell, for a word or two about, I'm not sure what. Buddy?
You know, I heard a lot of people come out here and blowing a lot of hot air, Dave Brown. But if you'll remember back about 3 or 4 weeks ago, they held a tournament down in Florida that the Nature Boy Buddy Landell won. I beat Kerry Von Erich, Dory Funk Jr., Dick Slater. I beat Mike Graham, Steve Kern. I beat every swinging soul in professional wrestling to get a shot at the Unified World Heavyweight Championship. Now, when I got that shot, me and Jerry Lawler wrestled 40 minutes. That's what I'm talking about, okay? Now, there's my credentials. I've been a champion before. Unlike some of these other guys coming out here and trying to grab the elusive brass ring. You know what I'm talking about? I'm saying my name speaks for itself, okay? Now, Jerry Lawler, I stomped you today on TV. I'm going to win the match I'm going to win all the CWA. Let me just say this. The biggest thing that I'm going to take in the ring is my ego. And if I have to slap the figure 4 leg lock on Bill Dundee, Goofy, Dustin Rhodes, and everybody else, that's exactly what I'll do. You're looking at your new champion, baby.
Well, you're certainly looking at one of the top contenders as Buddy Landell heads out of here. You're also looking at some contenders right here, Dundee and Dustin Rhodes, and a couple of more contenders coming this way, too. I hear the music. That means the Wild Side. Mark Starr and Chris Champion are on the way, led by General Ronnie P. Gossett, waving that Wild Side flag. This is going to be an expiration of time match. Maybe one fall, maybe 3 or 4. As the Wild Side will be going against Dundee and Dustin Rhodes. Well, they got that snake in there, and Dundee and Dustin, I think, wisely move out of the way. I tell you what,
You can tell these morons to quit calling me Porky.
Well, Bill Dundee over to speak with the crowd there just for a moment. I don't think telling them that's going to do any good, Ronnie. They just kind of call it as they see it. Wild Side now taking off the jackets. The snake has been safely passed out of the ring, thank goodness. Dustin Rhodes going to be starting against Mark Starr as the Wild Side goes against Rhodes and Dundee. Been looking forward to this match for quite some time, let me tell you. Dustin Rhodes leaps over Mark Starr. Dustin, nice move. Over to the corner, and Mark Starr makes the tag on Chris Champion. Champion finds himself immediately lying on his back in the middle of the ring. Put there by Dustin Rhodes. Dustin, boy, what a fine athlete this young man has proven to be. He came in with the Rhodes name already behind him, and he had established himself earlier. And he came into here, and boy, he's been making noise ever since. Superstar Dustin wrapping up those arms, and now Chris Champion finds himself smacked in the chin by Bill Dundee. He crawls over to the corner and makes the tag. Mark Starr of the Wild Side is now in there. Dundee grabbing his arm. Starr tried to reverse him, and Dundee let him have it with a right fist. A little Aussie, a real battler. It doesn't make any difference who he steps in there against. He's going to come after you head on. Dundee ducks under. Comes head on, and Mark Starr presses him down to the mat. There's General Gossett. 4 stars on the helmet, but Sergeant Stripes on the... sorry, General Ronnie Gossett, not Private Ronnie Gossett. With medals that look very much like buttons. Anyway, enough about Gossett. The action in the ring as Dustin Rhodes and Chris Champion. This Wild Side, certainly not fan favorites, but you got to give the devil his due sometimes, and these folks are tough wrestlers. They're a rugged tag team. Champion and Mark Starr, since they have gotten together, have won a lot of matches. Don't like the way they've done it especially, but they've got victories in their column. Cover by Dustin Rhodes. He got a 2 count on Chris Champion. Got a great crowd has joined us today for CWA Wrestling. They are solidly behind Dundee and Dustin in this match. Whoa, Billy missed with a drop kick. That can be costly, especially against a team like the Wild Side who will take advantage of a mistake. They'll go after a weakness. There's a cover by Mark Starr. Dustin Rhodes there to save the day and prevent a 3 count on Dundee. Dundee's head run into the boot of Chris Champion over in the corner now. Watch Gossett from outside. Thank goodness the referee's nearby, but Dundee now rolls out of the ring, and Gossett's got that helmet off and smacks Dundee in the top of the head with it. Gossett getting involved in the action. Dundee staggering back to his feet. He's just been nailed by that helmet. Dundee over to the corner. Here is Dustin Rhodes. Dustin working on Mark Starr. Dundee's got Chris Champion back over in the corner. He's got them all in there. Whoa, Gossett passed the Wild Side flag into Chris Champion, who nails Dundee. Referee saw it and has called for a disqualification. A DQ because the flag was in there. They thought they had the referee distracted, but he turned and saw that flag that Champion had in his hand. It's a disqualification on the team of the Wild Side.
Disqualification. We didn't do anything to be disqualified.
Oh, we saw the flag, Gossett. We're going to check time and be back with you. Day here today, opening match, Lawler going against Buddy Landell. Landell was out here, and he claims that he beat Lawler all over the ring. It wasn't that way exactly. As a matter of fact, Landell ended up losing the match by disqualification. Lawler gets the hand raised. It was a non-title match, which had Landell upset, by the way. He felt he should be wrestling for the title here today. But Lawler gets the win over Buddy Landell. It was Dutch Mantell and Freddie defeating the Blackbirds, Iceman Parsons and Brickhouse Brown. It was the Rock and Roll Express, Rick Morton and Robert Gibson, taking the measure of Mike Davis and Chris Frazier. Frazier got pinned. Davis, his partner, unhappy about it, so he turned on his partner. He attacked Chris Frazier in there as if Frazier hadn't had enough trouble already for the day. Rock and Roll gets the victory. Dirty White Boy defeated Tim Hall in a match in which he took control and kept it. And then it was Bill Dundee and Dustin Rhodes winning 2 straight by disqualification over the Wild Side and their manager, General Ronnie P. Gossett. We'll have more for you next week. Hope you'll join us then. Until then, I'm Dave Brown. So long, everybody.
The announcers on this program are selected and paid by parties other than this station, namely the promoters of championship wrestling.